Morning, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Cheers to you. Give everybody some time to get in here. Thanks for being a part of the show. Appreciate you guys coming back after that ass kicking last night. I thought if I don't have anybody on here, then, I would understand it. I'd understand the reasoning behind it. I'd understand people saying, Slee ain't happening today. These are, these are the real ones that come during the tough times. Oklahoma City Thunder pretty good, or what do you guys think? They're not bad. Thunder might have a future. They might have a future in the NBA. Thank you for being a part of the show. I appreciate you guys hanging out, coming on here every single morning, Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m., being a part of the post-game show after every Lakers game, talking Lakers, talking NBA. So appreciate all you guys being here and being a part of the channel. Give everyone a quick rundown what we got going on for the show today. And we'll start looking at some of the comments and everything else. We're taking our time today. Sometimes I might be rushing through topics. Sometimes I might be in a hurry. Like, all right, I got to get through this. I got to get through that. Today, there's no hurry. I mean, I do have to leave right around 9, but there's no hurry in regards to how we're going to get through these topics. All right, obviously the main topics for today, Thunder blow out the Lakers. I don't even know what the Oklahoma City Thunder are. I'm not even sure what that team is. I don't even know. I was mentioning this yesterday in the postgame show. Part of this is a Laker conversation. The other part is like, who's going to beat the Thunder when they're healthy, if they're healthy? Bad road trip. I think there's a theme coming on here. Whatever momentum that we were looking at with the Lakers coming into this road trip, 7-2 on the season, feeling good, chest out. Yeah, it's looking a lot different. It's not just a loss to the Thunder, but they just haven't played good. I'll talk a little bit about Austin Reaves. I think Reaves has looked lost. Gotta be honest. These last few games, he's looked lost to me. The Austin Reaves that we were all pumping up and everyone was super excited about and how great he's been playing. Now, listen, can that change tomorrow? Sure, it can against New Orleans, but he's looked lost. I mean, part of my job here is to also make sure that I give love to certain players and then also be critical when I need to. I don't know what Reaves was doing yesterday. I have no idea what Reaves was doing yesterday. Frankly, I don't know what anybody was doing yesterday, but Austin Reaves has not been the same player. Luka, no surprise yesterday, was going to be asked about Nico Harrison. Talked a little bit about Nico. That's kind of an interesting storyline in itself. He was even asked specifically, would you ever consider playing in Dallas again? That was interesting. That was interesting. I want to spend some time on that of maybe how Luka feels about the Mavs. And listen, I wouldn't rule that out, that down the road, Luka at some point plays again in Dallas, even if it's towards the latter part of his career. I wouldn't rule that out. There is a LeBron update. Obviously he's now down in the G League trying to get ready to come back. I thought I saw something yesterday, but I was looking for it this morning. But I thought Spectrum had put something out, reevaluated in 1 to 2 weeks. Well, it doesn't sound like he's coming back in mid-November, since mid-November starts in 2 days. We knew he wasn't going to play in this road trip, but that doesn't sound like he's coming back on Tuesday. And Tuesday's a game Lakers have at home against Utah. And really, part of the conversation I want to spend with as well in regard, let's just pretend LeBron played yesterday against OKC. How would that have changed things? How much of that would that have helped? Or is OKC just kind of, they're off in their own world and you can't really compare yourself with the Thunder? There's some AD trade rumors out there. There was some reports out there that Klay was offered 4 years, $80 million, I think, to be a Laker, chose to take less money and go to the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, part of that news, some of that coming out, just the collapse of the Mavs, and he's kind of stuck there. They should try to trade him. I don't know what they'd get for him. I got some NBA news, some awful NBA injuries around the league as well, and then we'll call it a Thursday. So thank you very much for being here. Please do me a quick favor and subscribe to the channel. Also, stop if you're typing right now and just have a sip of your coffee. Can we not, as Americans, just enjoy a nice cup of coffee in the morning while we're working? Is that not possible? I don't think I have anything to bitch and complain about like I did yesterday with the gym etiquette. I don't think I have anything, but I'm trying to keep that in mind. If I have anything that makes me hallucinate to come back with you guys and to eventually offer what exactly I'm hallucinating about. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments here before we get started. All right. Thank you again for being here. Good morning now. I had to put an early message. Reaves is going to be a problem again. He'll be fine in the regular season, but in the playoffs when play athletic teams, this is what will happen. I got some time I'm going to spend on Reaves. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to spend some time on Reaves. The comments look bigger today. I like this. Did StreamYard do something different? Sometimes I'm like squinting my eyes trying to read all this stuff. Austin is great. But love much basketball. Bad shots, dribbling, the air out of the ball. We need defense and offense. We need two-way guys on this team. Don't disagree about the two-way guys on this team. We'll get into that. All right, let's get a couple more in here before we get things started. NBA fixed it for OKC, or NBA or the OKC just demolished the Lakers. Slee, I rescheduled my date last night to watch the Lakers get wrecked. Did I mess up? Yep, you did. By the way, I think you asked me this question yesterday, and I said, go on your date. So, listen, if you guys need some personal advice, I'm available. I can help out here. Let's get a quote here from Ocean Breeze. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Like that right there. Lakers, their fans got humbled last night. Lakers only win when they shoot twice as many free throws as their opponents. That foul baiting doesn't work against good teams. Okay. People have their opinion here. Let's get one more from Hector, and then we'll start the show. Morning, Alan. I have a problem with Reaves walking with cement blocks. That needs to change. All right. Let's get things started here. So I think there's a couple things that stood out from last night's game. And I don't know if you guys remember me saying this yesterday before the game, and we were just having our regular conversation and previewing the game. Really what I was asking for is, can this be a game in the fourth quarter? Can there be 6 minutes left and we're not 100% sure who's going to eventually win this game? That'd be great, that the Lakers can kind of hang with a very talented Oklahoma City Thunder team on the road. That was kind of the goal. That's how I looked at it. And if, they were fortunate enough to steal a game, awesome. If they weren't, but they stayed in it, that I think would have shown something as well. I think for me yesterday, I think Lakers jumped out. They were up 7-2. And the next thing you know, you're looking at the score and it was like 20-8 or something like that. Whatever the score was. I think it was like a 16-2 run by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Something along those lines. The disappointing part about last night's game is it was never a game, and you knew the Lakers just had no shot. I think whatever their game plan was, they looked stupid. How much of that is on the Lakers and the coaching staff? How much of that is just on your opponent is that much better than you? And frankly, I lean more towards your opponent is that much better than you, because the Oklahoma City Thunder just look like they're in a class of their own. But I thought what was disappointing last night was we never had a game. There was never a moment that you thought, hey, Lakers are in this thing. There was never a moment that you felt, all right, well, if they make this tweak or that tweak, then I think they could eventually get back into this game. Or you know what? The Thunder are just shooting so well in the first quarter. They're gonna eventually come down to earth. No. It was complete domination. I'm not even going to say for 48 minutes, because it was 36 minutes, because they decided to sit Shea in that fourth quarter, and the game was already decided. So it was complete domination for 36 minutes until the Oklahoma City Thunder said, all right, yeah, we got no interest here. Like, why are we going to use any more effort? This game's over. At one point, they went up by 37 points. Hypothetically, if the Lakers are trying to make noise this year, they're trying to make some noise. Guys, I get it. One game does not determine the season, but that was such a discouraging loss because I don't know what's going to change when they play the Thunder. Now, can they hang with other teams? Sure. They've already shown that. Is there maybe a battle between all these other teams in the Western Conference? Maybe you want to say Denver might be the closest team to where the Thunder are. If you want to stretch a little bit and say maybe the Houston Rockets are where the Thunder are, which I don't think anybody's near where the Thunder are, and the Thunder are only going to get better as they get healthier. But I think what was most frustrating about last night's game, not only was there no moment where you felt like the Lakers have a chance in this game, but I also didn't walk away with anything saying, well, yeah, but when LeBron comes back, it's going to completely change. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe LeBron can have that influence on the Lakers. But they're younger. They're faster. The ball actually moves. They got guys that can hit threes. They're by far the best defensive team in the NBA, and it ain't even close. They made the Lakers look stupid. I mean, listen, my job here, and this is one of the reasons why I love doing this podcast, or one of the reasons why I love having a microphone in front of me, is there's going to be times where you just have to be as objective as possible and as critical as possible. What did you see from last night's game to tell you, but if just this little change happens, they got a shot against the Oklahoma City Thunder? Unfortunately, I didn't see any of that. I was mentioning this in the postgame show yesterday, which I don't see this happen very often. Before I started my postgame show, I've been telling you guys now, I'll listen a little bit to JJ Redick, not playing any of the interviews anymore. So I listen to JJ Redick, and then I will start my portion of the postgame show. But leading up to JJ Redick, Spectrum's got Geeter on there, Robert Ory's on there, and James Worthy are on there, and they're talking. And listening to Worthy and Ory talk about, like, this team reminds me a little bit when I was winning championships with this team, or James Worthy, when I was with this dominant team back in the 80s. They were just kind of talking about their time in the NBA where they were playing for such dominant teams. And I don't think anybody really had a solution. I think a lot of times when you do a post-game show reaction, you can have something that you can hit on, and you could say, well, if they did this, if that player lived up to their expectations, or if the coaching staff did this, then there's a little bit glimmer of a hope. I had a very difficult time yesterday finding a glimmer of hope against the Thunder. That doesn't mean the Lakers can't go up against other teams. Doesn't mean OKC, things happen during the season that they get worse or this and that, but that squad's 12-1. And my God, did they look like a Ferrari, and did the Lakers look like a Toyota Camry? I mean, no disrespect to the Toyota Camry, but not in the same class, in the same league as a Ferrari. Okay, I do have some things that I want to read. I think there was a quote from Marcus Smart that I want to read. There is kind of a trend about the road trip that I want to talk about. And then I want to lay into a couple players. Can I lay into a couple players? Do I have the right to do that? I think I have the right to do that. All right, let's look at a couple of the comments here. I'm just going to go towards the bottom here, and maybe I'll try to work my way up. So, sometimes when I'm doing the show, it's very difficult to go back and see all the comments. So I'm going to do my best. So you guys can put in some comments here, and I could try to get to them. Can a man just enjoy his cup of coffee in the morning? I mean, what is this? All right, OKC made them look like the G League. By the way, 100%. Yeah, something's going on with the comments here, because they're a lot bigger and brighter and everything else. All right, this is good. To squint anymore. Too many ISO hero plays. Stop shooting so many threes. Drive to the point, or drive to the paint. Start Vando. Don't play him with Jacks. Play more ball man movement. Okay, I do have some theories, and I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a little bit on, some different things that I would have liked to seen from individual players. But the ISO ball, I mentioned this yesterday as well. And I'll just say this from, one of the things I do love, and I think this is why I love the game of basketball. I love the kind of the chess match when it comes to basketball. And I love when Teams are trying to find different ways. All right, we're going to force you to do this because we know you don't want to do it. We're going to take this away from you, and we're going to try to make other players have to step up if you're going to win the game. The dumbest thing you can do against the Oklahoma City Thunder is play iso ball. And God bless Luka, and God bless the Lakers coaching staff. They came out with this, Luka's just going to take over the game. Yeah, that's stupid. That's not smart. The Oklahoma City Thunder are begging the Lakers to try to play iso ball against the Oklahoma City Thunder. If the ball ain't moving and everybody's not touching the ball and everybody's a threat, now granted, people can make the argument, yeah, but Al, nobody else was hitting shots. That's fine. You can make that argument. But if your game plan against the Oklahoma City Thunder, the number one defense in the NBA, have great individual players and have great just team structure, is to play iso ball, you're going to get your ass kicked. And I thought the first quarter, way too much iso ball from Luka. 4 turnovers in that first quarter. So predictable were the Lakers. I'm like, yeah, this ain't going to work. All right, let me get a couple more in here, and then we'll start talking about the individual players. I'm not trying to make this sound like the Lakers lost because of Luka, but what I'm trying to tell you is if you try to play iso ball against OKC, you got no shot. Slee, not even a game at game 15. Can't really say anything till I see more games like 20. You're overreacting. I'll tell you why I'm not overreacting. I'm not overreacting to, I think Oklahoma City is by far better than everyone else in the league. I don't think that's a stretch. I don't think that's an overreaction. If I said the season is over, the Lakers are going anywhere, they can't recover from this, that's an overreaction. But I don't know if I have too many people in this chat that are going to disagree that the Thunder are really, really good and 29 other teams are chasing the same team. I don't think we can argue about that. I was looking at the schedule yesterday when I was doing the post game, and I think this is actually some good news. They don't play the Thunder again until after the trade deadline. At least you got a chance to see OKC early in the year. Obviously in November, not even mid-November. And you don't face them again until February, which means if you're the Lakers front office right now, you're sitting there saying to yourself, all right, if we're going to go make any moves, if we're going to do anything, and I don't know how all in the Lakers are this year. I don't know if part of the Lakers strategy is, okay, we got to save our assets. I don't know if part of the Lakers strategy is, what if Giannis Antetokounmpo wants out in the next year? We got to have the right assets ready to go. I don't know what the Lakers' long-term strategy is. I think there's times you move your chips to the center of the table. There's other times you fold that hand and you live to see another 2 more cards or whatever the case is, right? I don't know what the Lakers' strategy is. But I will say it's impossible that Pelinka and the front office are not sitting there this morning and saying to themselves, if we are going to make a move for the short-term, long-term, we have to have in the back of our mind the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's the class of the NBA. Do you think the Lakers want to make it to the second round? Do you think they want to make it to the Western Conference Finals? Do you think they want to make it to the finals, or do you think they want to win an NBA championship? Maybe for certain franchises, it's great to just make the playoffs. Maybe for certain franchises, damn, what a beautiful step. We got all the way to the Western Conference Finals. I know for the Lakers is a little bit different. Now, that doesn't mean that it's realistic. Doesn't mean it's going to happen this year. Doesn't mean it's going to happen over the next couple of years. But I think if there's one advantage that you can have is you got your ass kicked against OKC in November. Who cares? Nobody's going to remember that. But I think you also have it in your mind like, hey, if we're going to come out of the West, you're going to have to go through the Thunder. So if you're going to make a move short-term or long-term or whatever the case is, you have to have the Oklahoma City Thunder in mind. And I think that's a fair case to make. Okay, let me get into some of the individual players here real quick. Okay. Let me ask everybody here real quick. You want me to talk Ayton or Reaves? First to 5. Ayton or Reaves? That's all I want to know. You type in there Ayton or Reaves first to 5. I'm just going to go off of whatever you guys want. And, at the end of the day, I'm going to talk about both of them, but I'm curious maybe where more of the frustration may be. So let's see what we got here. I got one for Reaves. I got one for Ayton. I got, this is a good one. 3-2. Wow. I'm surprised you're Ayton. I thought this was going to be just a walk in the park. All right. People want to go Ayton. Let's go Ayton first. You know what I was excited about in yesterday's game? You guys got to understand something here, okay? This is my 10th year covering the Los Angeles Lakers. And I've watched Lakers basketball my entire life, and I've watched NBA basketball my entire life. I love, I love the nuances of the game. Yesterday, we weren't 100% sure. Is Chet Holmgren going to play? And I guess the question is, he hasn't really played many back-to-back so far with the Thunder this year. And then our guest yesterday, who covers the Thunder, mentioned, I think he's going to play. He said something after the Warriors game that is giving a little bit of an indication that he's probably going to play. And I got excited about that. Now, maybe as a Laker fan, you're like, no. If Chet doesn't play, Lakers might have a better shot at winning this game. You can go into all your reasons why you don't want Chet in the game. I wanted Chet Holmgren in the game for one reason. I wanted to see Ayton against kind of the bigs of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I wanted to see him against two completely different players. Isaiah Hartenstein, the way he plays the game, it's more of a bruiser, more of kind of an old school big. I box out, I grab rebounds, I grab some lobs, I put my elbow into your chin every once in a while. That's his style. Chet Holmgren, much more of a skilled basketball player. I can step out, I can hit 22-footers, I can get to the basket, I can drive. I actually have a handle, even though I'm 7 and change. Completely different styles. I wanted to see Ayton in a game like this because Ayton, to me, has had a good regular season so far for the Lakers. I've had no real complaints about him. I think he's getting better and better as he goes. All right, Ayton, got the Thunder now. What are you going to do against the Oklahoma City Thunder? Ayton was shit yesterday. Nothing. He took 5 shots yesterday. If I'm right, he was 3 of 5 from the field. Again, Lakers didn't lose this game because of Ayton, but if I'm going to isolate individual players, let's be real about them. Let's talk about them. Let's give our actual, genuine perspective of what we saw yesterday. What I saw from Ayton yesterday was discouraging. Now, what I saw from the Lakers yesterday was discouraging, but what I saw from Ayton specifically yesterday, how are you taking 5 shots against the Thunder? Shame on Ayton. Shame on the Lakers. I mean, just nothing. Lakers got dominated points in the paint, turnover after turnover. I know there's certain things Ayton can't control, and certain things Ayton can't control. I got a question yesterday. I did the members video. And for the members video, they were helping me prep for the show. It's something that I've done now 2 weeks in a row. And one of them had this topic of, hey, what do you think about Ayton long-term? And I said, you know what? That's a good topic. And I think my natural reaction was, let's pump the brakes here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're a few games into the season. We're not even a quarter of the way through the NBA season. Let's see what he looks like. Hey, this is a great game. Lakers got Thunder tonight. Last night. So let's see what that looks like. Ayton was very disappointing last night. The whole team was. But Ayton was very disappointing last night. He had no impact on the game at all. No impact. Zero impact. I mean, I genuinely don't remember a moment, maybe in the first quarter, a couple kind of jump hooks or whatever the case is, kind of near around the basket. But I don't remember Ayton having any impact in the game. Nothing. 0% impact in that game. Ayton was frustrating. Okay, let's jump to Austin Reaves real quick. Reaves, to me, is I'm a little bit more concerned with Reaves right now, and I'll tell you why. Because Reaves was having such a tremendous start to the season, and most of that was coming as a primary ball handler or Luka out with some of his injuries, and that's where Reaves was, I think, cooking at his best. Reaves was also doing things that I thought were special. Hey, look at Reaves. He's not just scoring for himself. He's facilitating. He's getting others involved. Call me crazy, but I thought yesterday coming into the game, I really wanted the Lakers to get Reaves going early on because I thought if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm going to key in on Austin Reaves because if I can take away Reaves and kind of have Luka more on an island, this is falling right into our game plan. You know what the Lakers ended up doing? Playing Luka on an island. Reaves was a complete non-factor. And, obviously the Lakers were never in the game. My concern with Austin Reaves is, and listen, I'll give credit where credit's due. People have said, Al, you start putting athletic wings on him. What are the Lakers, or what? They'll find ways to stop Austin Reaves. I mean, listen, Lakers also had a game against Minnesota where Jaden McDaniels was on him. You had Rudy Gobert waiting for him in the key, and Austin Reaves still had a phenomenal game. Lakers ended up winning because Austin Reaves hit a buzzer beater. I've seen Austin Reaves do special things against good defenders, bad defenders, good teams, bad teams. The entire, obviously we've seen the scope of what Austin Reaves can do. My concern right now with Austin Reaves, I mean, him and Luka, there's no flow between both of those players. There isn't. There's no natural flow between both of those players. Some of that, I put on Luka. I get it. It's Luka. He's going to do whatever he wants. I get that. I understand that. I understand that comes with the territory of Luka Doncic. But you got to have flow. And if the Lakers' strategy is, well, we got two of these incredible ball handlers that can go get, buckets for themselves. Go take turns in the NBA against good teams and see how far that's going to get you. Go play the whole ISO basketball. Luka's got the ball for a couple of possessions. And then, all right, Austin, it's your turn to have the ball for a couple of possessions. There's no flow. I'll go back to something during my interview yesterday with Andrew Schlecht, covers the Thunder for The Athletic. He said where the Thunder have the biggest issues are teams that constantly move the ball. I don't know where the offense is coming from. I don't know. Everybody is a threat. Yeah, you got your superstars, but those superstars are just as dynamic because the ball is moving. That ball move at all yesterday? Or did it just seem like a team that wanted to play hero ball against the best team in the league? The Reaves portion of this, I have it in my title here. Reaves looked lost. He looked lost yesterday. Looked lost. I mean, there was a moment, maybe 6 minutes into the first quarter, Reaves was already on the bench, and I'm just looking around. I'm like, yeah, this is going nowhere. All right, let's take a look at more of the comments here. See what people are saying here. And if you guys, agree, disagree, you can disagree with me all you guys want. That's fine. I have no problem reading any of that stuff, but that's what I kind of noticed yesterday. Ayton is outperforming his contract, right? But that conversation is only for Reaves. Wonder why. Ayton is outperforming his contract. Well, Ayton is outperforming his contract because the Blazers are paying for $28-30 million of his contract. Because I guarantee you, if we're sitting here and we're saying that Ayton's making $35 million from the Lakers alone, he wouldn't be outperforming his contract. People would be having a different conversation about Ayton. DA was frustrated. He was neutralized because too many turnovers and bricking too many threes. I mean, you can be frustrated about maybe not getting the ball in certain positions, things along those lines. You could find different ways to contribute. He had 5 rebounds. He took 5 shots. Come on. All right, fine. Be frustrated. Find a different way to contribute for the Lakers. If you told me that he had 12 points, but he had 9 rebounds, 2 block shots, couple other possessions where you're looking at, okay, do a little bit more. Okay, you're not getting the ball, too many turnovers. What did he do yesterday that we could sit here and compliment? There's nothing. All right, let's get more of these here. Lakers pile up wins against teams missing their star players. No trade. I don't want to hear that. Lakers have had plenty of injuries themselves and have found ways to, stack up wins as well. So, if we're going to talk injuries, Lakers have had as many injuries as probably any team out there in the NBA. They've missed a lot. LeBron's yet to play a game. We're in mid-November, almost a month into the season. All right, let's get some more in here. OKC was more physical with Austin. Told you he was not strong enough to sustain the type of play. Don't blame Luka. You know, it's funny to me. I had this happen to me yesterday too. I don't like that people get so defensive about Luka if you're critical about Luka. You think Luka played a good game yesterday? Go look at Luka's efficiency as far as how he's shooting from the field over these last handful of games. Go look at Luka in this 3-game road trip. Guys, you can be critical about Luka. It's okay. It's all right to be critical about the star player and the franchise player for the Lakers. Go look at his 3-point shooting over these last 3 games. Go look at 4 turnovers in that first quarter yesterday. And Luka looked lost as well. It's okay to be critical about Luka. I mean, if people are going to have this, oh my God, you can't say anything bad about Luka. Lakers got their asses kicked against the Oklahoma City Thunder. What do you want me to do? Come on here and pretend like Luka played a perfect game? Why? Be objective. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Everything's going to be okay to be objective about the players. Yes, Luka's not perfect. That happens. The entire team wasn't perfect. Luka can take some heat. It's okay. The guy hasn't been hitting threes well. Too many turnovers and too much ISO basketball yesterday. And by the way, even if he played perfect yesterday, they're not beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. Everybody, obviously didn't play well. Comes with the territory. I don't know why people get so protective about players, individual players. Like you cannot say anything bad about them. No. That's part of the game. That's part of us assessing a game. If anyone walked away saying Luka was good yesterday, I'm sorry, you can't be objective. You can't. And if anyone walks away from the game as if Luka made no mistakes yesterday, then I don't know what you want me to tell you. Then we can't have a real conversation about last night's game. 7 of 20 from the field. Go look at his last few games. I'll do it for you. Nobody wants to give Luka anything. I'm here for you. Again, Luka could have played perfect, and Lakers are still losing that game. The one thing that frustrates me with Luka, too much 3-point shooting. He takes so many threes, and he's not hitting threes. Let me give you some of Luka's games. Listen, he's got incredible stats. The guy's an incredible player. He's a top 5 player in the league. No one's arguing that. Against the Heat, 1 of 11 from the 3-point line. Against the Grizzlies, 6 of 15 from the 3-point line. Against the Spurs, 4 of 11. Hawks, 4 of 10. Hornets, 5 of 15. Last night, 1 of 7 from the 3-point line. How about you stop taking so many threes? That's one suggestion there. Yeah, if this is going to be don't be critical about Luka, yeah, it ain't happening. We're going to be critical about Luka if Luka's not having a good game. Go look at his threes. Way too much 3-point shooting and too much ISO. I'm going to go back to it. Too much ISO ball. I hate the ISO ball. I can't stand the isolation basketball. That's not for me. But they didn't lose yesterday's game because of Luka Doncic. They lost yesterday's game because the Oklahoma City Thunder are wildly better than the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, I got some solutions here that I want to talk about. I want to spend a little time hitting on a couple different things. I want to talk about the rest of the road trip. There's a few things that I want to hit on. We'll get into the LeBron portion of this and Luka talking about Nico Harrison as well. Before I do so, shout out to Brad Wallace and the Wallace firm. Thank you for their partnership. If you're in the state of California and you're in any type of situation or predicament, you need an injury attorney. You see all these billboards everywhere. You're probably confused because you're not understanding the industry. You don't really know what to do if you're in a predicament or a situation like a serious injury or a wrongful death case. Family member, a friend, Brad Wallace and the Wallace firm, let them guide you in the right direction. Just let them, what you want in any situation, especially a situation like this, you just want experts in the field that can say, okay, hey, we've gone through this before. I know it's intimidating. I know it's a daunting process. I know you don't know what to do. We'll help guide you in the right direction. We created a URL, wallacewins.com/Sliwa. wallacewins.com/Sliwa. You can go to that website, get an absolutely free consultation. I'm happy to make a personal introduction to the owner of the company, Brad Wallace and the Wallace firm. We're working on closing in on a year partnership here on YouTube. Worked with him for years on radio as well. So it's been just a phenomenal partnership, and I'm very appreciative of him supporting the channel, supporting the show, and I'm appreciative of a lot of the listeners welcoming him in as well. So thank you very much. I appreciate everybody supporting us, and thank you to Brad Wallace and the Wallace firm. WallaceWins.com/Sliwa. All right, let's keep going here. The road trip, just real quick. I actually kind of start moving on from the game. I think we've done enough of the game, to be honest with you. But let me just let me look at two things here real quick. The Marcus Smart quote, probably the best quote from yesterday. Let me find it here. There's nothing we could take away other than we got our ass kicked and we got to bounce back. Our rest of the road trip for the Lakers. By the way, it hasn't been a good road trip. I think, most people, Lakers were starting this road trip. They were at 7-2, and now they've lost 2 or 3 on the road trip, and they haven't looked good. That's the problem with me. I think the road trip has kind of taken away any momentum that the Lakers had coming. The game against Atlanta, I don't need to tell you guys, Lakers were awful. The game against Charlotte, I mean, by the time the first half was done, it's a 2-point game. They gave up 60 to Charlotte without LaMelo Ball, without Brandon Miller. Obviously, key players missing for the Atlanta Hawks as well. And then last night, we know what happened. They lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They got a couple games to kind of figure this out. And tomorrow against New Orleans, we'll spend more time talking about that game tomorrow. But tomorrow against the Pelicans, obviously, it's going to be an interesting game because Pelicans got a lot of injuries as well. I think Zion is out right now. Who else is out? DeJounte Murray is out. They're missing some key players as well. So what's going to be interesting is, can they just bounce back and get back on track and then walk into Saturday's game against the Milwaukee Bucks, basically mano a mano against Giannis Antetokounmpo, and see if they could go 3-2 on this road trip? If they found a way to go 3-2 on this road trip, then it's a wildly successful road trip just based on the fact of how they started and certainly how they end. If they end up going 2-3 and the only wins that you have are against Charlotte and against the Pelicans, you're going to walk away saying, damn, they had a couple of opportunities, a couple of tests that they didn't play well in, and certainly the game against Oklahoma City Thunder. So we'll see what the Lakers eventually end up doing, but that's what they got coming up. And I do think that this road trip has been a little bit of it's just taken away the momentum. After they got that win against the San Antonio Spurs, against Wemby, they come back, they play well towards the end. I was at that game, and I felt like the momentum was great and the vibe was great. A lot of that has been lost here in a short period of time. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments here. We'll see what some of the comments have, and then I want to get into the LeBron update, and then I'll talk Luka and some of the stuff that he said about Nico. Reaves can be really good as a third option, so that means cannot spend over $30 million, in my opinion. I was doing the math yesterday. By the way, could I get everybody real quick to just, what did you think about the Thunder specifically? Because I don't think that's a question that I asked. And I know there's a lot of Laker fans, NBA fans on here. Can you put the Laker thing to the side here for a quick second? What did you think of the Thunder? Like, what did you walk away with watching the Oklahoma City Thunder last night? Because I got a couple quick thoughts on that. I was doing the math yesterday, and I'm like, all right, if Reaves got $30 million a year for 5 years, he's at 150. 30, 60, 90, 120, he's at 150. Okay, if he gets 35 a year, he's at 175. If he gets 40 a year, he's at 200. I don't think the Lakers, I think Reaves will work with the Lakers. I think he's going to try to work with them. He clearly wants to be a Laker. What's that right number? Is it 35 a year? Is that the right number? All right, let me read a couple on this on the OKC stuff, and then I want to move on. I want to talk a little bit about the LeBron stuff. I want to get into the Luka talks, Nico. All right, let me. Yeah, this is. I I want to just really quick on these. Thunder are levels above us. Victor, I don't think this is even a level above the Lakers. Do you know in a span of 24 hours, they were up by 30 against the Warriors and up by 37 against the Lakers? I mean, in a 24-hour span, they basically wrote a check to the Warriors. Here's URL here real quick. Lakers come in here real quick. Here's URL. Thank you for coming in, guys. Go have a great rest of your day. Head and shoulders above the rest of the NBA. I think this is more accurate. I don't even think it's a Lakers thing. I think this is just what they look like compared to everybody else. Thunder probably going to repeat. Ronald, I think, is a Thunder fan. OKC ready for anyone. That was really unfreaking believably impressive to see what the Thunder are. And what's more wild about the Oklahoma City Thunder, Dort didn't play yesterday. Wiggins didn't play yesterday. Jalen Williams didn't play yesterday. Like, they got a lot of guys that were a part of the championship run that aren't even available right now. And they just got a new crop of players that just step in like, okay, yeah, we're ready to go. Yeah, I was waiting last year. I couldn't get any playing time because I'm too young. Apparently, I don't have enough experience. They got just a new crop of players that are coming in. Thoughts on Thunder? Thunder is a well-coached team. They're a well-ran team. I hate the OKC Thunder because they're so good. Didn't see any weakness in the Thunder. All right, we're all on the same page. I mean, I think we're all on the same page. Yeah, that team's got, there's levels to it, and Oklahoma, Oklahoma is that's a different brand of basketball right now. Okay, so there was some news yesterday that was coming out in regards to LeBron. LeBron takes key step towards returning to the Lakers. So this was him being a part of the G League. JJ Redick, he was able to participate in practice, got up and down a little bit with just some warm-up transition drills and progressed to 5-on-5 in the half court. And I think about 12 to 15 possessions of live 5-on-5 contact. So LeBron getting closer. You know, I was trying to think here. Let's pretend LeBron played yesterday. How much of the game would have changed? You know what's crazy to think is it was just remember last April, Lakers got the OKC Thunder late in the season. Guest yesterday was talking about how there was a little bit of fear from Oklahoma City's side about, hey, I don't know how much we want to match up with the Lakers in a playoff game. Luka has dominated the Thunder in the past when he was with Dallas, and that might be a really tough matchup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Did something change between that April matchup that the Lakers had to November? Did something change that drastically where mentally the Thunder now are at a different level? Let's just assume LeBron was in the game yesterday. I do think things would have changed. I do think it could have been different, but I still think they're also probably losing by double digits. So here's the good news for the Lakers. And when LeBron eventually comes back, you don't have to play OKC every night. And you don't have to play OKC again until until February. So we got a ways to go before the Lakers got the Oklahoma City Thunder again. And LeBron is getting closer. You know, whatever that means, he's getting closer. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see when he does eventually return. But we keep getting just a little bit more information on LeBron. All right. He's getting a little bit closer. He's going to join the G League. Now he's practicing a little bit with the G League team. So we'll see how things obviously eventually go. But at least for LeBron, I do think he's going to help. I think he would help against the Thunder. I still think they're losing last night's game, even if LeBron was there. So we'll go from there. As a Mavs fan, I love y'all misery. Oh, Mavs. All right, I got a couple things on. Let's go to that real quick. Yesterday, no surprise here. By the way, listen, I don't care. Mavs fan, Thunder fan, you're here. I appreciate you being here. Hopefully, we can have good NBA conversations. You can fight in the chat with everybody else, but for me, I welcome everybody. Okay, so you knew this was going to happen yesterday. Luka was going to be asked about Nico Harrison. And this is a perfect transition. We'll talk a little bit about this. Obviously, with the big news, Nico Harrison got fired. Let me read you the quote, and then there's a couple things I want to react to. Okay. So he was asked yesterday about the firing of after the game. You know, obviously he's not talking before the game starts. And this was going to come up. Somebody's going to ask him, hey, what's your thoughts on Nico Harrison's firing? Here's what he said. Look, I mean, the city of Dallas, fans, players, they all have a special place in my heart. I thought I was going to stay there forever, but I didn't. So there'll always be a special place for me. Always I can call it home. But right now I'm focused on the Lakers, trying to move on. But obviously always going to be a part of me in there, just trying to move on and focus on what we're doing. Then he was asked. Doncic was then asked if he can see himself returning to the Mavs sometime down the road, but maintain that his focus is still on the current team. Here's what he said. Right now, I'm just focused on the Lakers. No further comments. You know, if I got to be honest with everybody, Luka just signed an extension with the Lakers. He's clearly going to be with the Lakers for a number of years. May very well play his rest of his career with the Lakers. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I think it's fair to say the Lakers are going to do everything they can to make sure Luka's happy. Luka's on the right team with the right franchise. They're taking care of him. He's making boatloads of money. And I think one of the most important things that will be on Luka's wish list is I want to compete for championships. He's got to the Western Conference Finals before. He got to the NBA Finals. I'm sure he thought when he was in Dallas before that trade happened, I'm going to be a Dallas Maverick for my entire career. He's probably looking at Dirk and the way Dirk was treated in Dallas and is like, hey, I'm going to follow a similar path. Now all I have to do is I got to win an NBA championship. I think the path for Luka with the Lakers, I think there's going to be a number of years where he's with the Lakers, and I think the Lakers will do everything they can to try to give him what he's ultimately looking for, which is a chance to win an NBA championship. I think Luka has certainly started that process of moving on from Dallas, and I thought the offseason was, obviously important for him. He gets into better shape. He takes it as a challenge, and then it wasn't, 9 months since he got traded that their general manager over in Dallas already got fired. The Mavs fan base, everybody chanting fire Nico. That doesn't mean that Patrick Dumont doesn't have a lot to do with this as well, but Dallas looks like they're in complete disarray. A little bit later in the show, I'll talk about how there are rumors out there. Do they trade Anthony Davis? Do they completely start rebuilding? I mean, if it wasn't for them getting the number one pick with an assist from the NBA, I mean, you call it whatever you want, but this franchise is heading in the direction of, it's complete disarray is the best way that I can put it. But I don't think that question, do I think it's necessary to ask that question? Would you ever return back to Dallas on November 12th after the Lakers were down 37 to the Oklahoma City Thunder while he's a Laker hasn't even been here for a full year? Okay, probably not necessary to ask that question. But would you be surprised if Luka Doncic at some point decided to go back to Dallas and maybe that's in 5 years, 7 years, 10 years and played 1 year with the Dallas Mavericks? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. He's got so much love there. And he left on terms that he had nothing to do with and he had no say in. I wouldn't be shocked if Luka Doncic played again for the Dallas Mavericks in 7, 8, 10 years. I really wouldn't. Is now the time to talk about it? Of course not. But I don't think it would be crazy if you that to me doesn't sound like a crazy conversation to have that he would have a moment at some point in his career where he said, you know what, I'll go back and I'll play for the Dallas Mavericks. But obviously that ain't happening anytime soon. No way Luka's body holds up 8 to 10 more years. Well, I mean, if he goes off of the kind of regiment that he had this past offseason, if you'd have told me 6 to 8 months ago that his body's not going to last 8 to 10 more years, I would agree with you. But how about you're just in shape and you take care of your body, and that could be a completely different story. All right, let's look at a couple more here. All you scrubs talking trash. Sad individual. Go James gives the Lakers hope. Without him, there is none. Why are people so aggressive in chats? I'm still trying to figure out the psychology of chats. Like, shouldn't the chat match the person who's doing the show? Am I overly aggressive? Am I out here flipping everybody off and telling everybody, hey, go F yourself? Come on, guys. The vibe here. By the way, everybody's fine. It's all good. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Mavs fans wanted Nico fired and the trade reversed. That's what they tell me without saying it directly. Did you guys see this story? Mavs need to move on from Klay Thompson. There was a story that came out too. So this, I'm going to kind of start now tying in a couple more stories, and we'll get to some NBA news here in just a second as well. I'll do that in just a second. But I just saw this, and because I saw the comment, I had this earlier. Klay Thompson rejected Lakers' $80 million deal for Luka Doncic. Here's what it means. Let's kind of take the backstory of this. When Klay Thompson became a free agent, he wasn't going to, the Warriors were basically moving on from him. He ended up signing a 3-year, $50 million deal to go to Dallas. Here's what was reported. The Lakers were offering 4 years, $80 million. And, obviously Klay from Southern California, his dad, Michael Thompson, played for the Lakers, all that stuff. They were offering, the Lakers were trying to get Klay Thompson. There was a report in The Athletic. I don't think this is the first time I've seen this, but anyways, the Lakers and Thompson discussed a 4-year, $80 million deal in free agency that if the Warriors cooperated in a sign and trade would have dwarfed the 3-year, $50 million deal the Mavericks would eventually give him. But the allure of playing with Luka Doncic was a major pull, as was the chance to partner with Kyrie Irving in the backcourt. When given the choice between teaming up with the Lakers duo of Davis and LeBron James or the Maverick stars, Thompson made a calculated decision to go with the latter. Little did he know that the star player swap to come would leave him on the wrong end of hoops history. So wanted to play with Luka, took less money. Now there is, obviously in the state of Texas, there's no state tax, so it's not comparable, but certainly would have made a little bit more money coming with the Lakers. And decided, no, thank you. I want to go play with Luka Doncic. And then next thing he knows, Luka's traded to the Lakers, and he's sitting back there saying, what the hell was that? To be honest with you, I think the Lakers got a little lucky there that they didn't give up that much money to Klay Thompson. He's just not the same Klay. I mean, I think everybody loved how Klay used to play the game and how Klay was able to do what he did over his years with the Golden State Warriors, was a two-way player, was a sharpshooter, one of the greatest shooters to ever play. He's just not Klay Thompson anymore. So, unfortunately for him, that's just the reality. All right, let's take a look at a couple of the supers here I have, and then I want to start getting into some of the NBA stories out there. So we'll do that in just a second. Here's the truth. If you really watch a game, Luka was doubled the instant he crossed half court. He passed it to his players, couldn't make shots. Logan, I watched the game. I think two things could be true. Number one, players were not hitting shots. And number two, Luka tried playing some hero ball as well. Both can be true. It's okay. It's all right. Nobody's got to take it personal. We're not talking about your family and your kids. Luka didn't play well yesterday. It's okay. 7 of 20 from the field, 4 turnovers in the first quarter. Nobody else played well as well. Austin Reaves looked completely lost. DeAndre Ayton was a complete no-show. It's okay, guys. It's all right. Luka's hasn't been hitting threes. His efficiency is down. It's okay. It happens. You have games like that. And credit the Oklahoma City Thunder for that. All right, let's get another one here. Logan, thank you for the super, brother. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate you. Savins, Lakers got whooped. My coffee got cold and I was 10 minutes late to work today due to rain. I'm a little aggressive this morning. I'll be nice in the chat though. Cheers to you, brother. My coffee is cold as well right now. I got to be honest with you. And listen, look, sometimes you got to take some L's. Unfortunately, with the L yesterday, it was also a little discouraging because you just see how good the Oklahoma City Thunder are. Hopefully you got to work safely. And yeah, it's supposed to be raining for the next few days. You guys know, if you're listening in Southern California, rain on the radar, and it's like the world's going to end. Thank you for the super as well. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for the super. Okay. Let's get to some NBA topics here. I got a few NBA topics that I want to get into. Some, it's kind of, if I got to be honest with everybody here, the NBA right now, unfortunately, there's a few things going on in the NBA. And some of the stuff going on in the NBA, from an injury perspective, just the worst. I hate it. Saw this yesterday. Did you guys see this? Bradley Beal needs season-ending hip surgery. His agent said yesterday. I'm reading this off ESPN right now. Bradley Beal, fracture in his left hip, will undergo season-ending surgery. How about this? It just keeps getting worse for the Los Angeles Clippers. If I'm right here, and I got to look at the NBA standings, I don't know if they're 3-8 or 3-9. I know they lost yesterday, and if I'm right, I think they lost to the Denver Nuggets, if I'm correct here. Let me find it real quick here. I just want to double check so I'm not giving you guys wrong information. Here are the Clippers right now. They're 3-8. They've lost 6 games in a row. Kawhi's been out for a few games. They give up 55 to Nikola Jokic yesterday. They've lost 6 in a row, while the Nuggets have won 6 in a row, and they just lost Bradley Beal for the rest of the season. I don't know what's going on in Clipperland, but unfortunate for them. Obviously, you feel bad. You don't want to see anybody get injuries. But what's going on with the Clippers right now, I think there's a few teams in the NBA, if I'm going to be honest with everybody. There's a few teams in the NBA where I feel like whatever you thought of some of these teams in the Western Conference, some of them are just, their stock is just continuing to drop. The Clippers, if you thought they were going to be a playoff team, start kind of questioning your own opinion. Let me give you a couple of teams here. The Golden State Warriors, I don't know what they are. I know they're 7-6. Memphis, if you thought, hey, they might be in the mix of a playoff team, they're going in the complete. They lost by over 30 yesterday to the Boston Celtics. If you thought Dallas could be a playoff team, forget about the Dallas Mavericks. The Clippers I just mentioned, there's kind of new blood coming up in the West, and there's just these teams that you thought might be hanging around are moving in a completely, different direction. So, obviously a few stories here from an NBA perspective, but I thought the Bradley Beal one and that injury was just awful. But there's definitely some news there from that perspective. Okay, I got a couple other NBA stories I want to get into. Mavericks Anthony Davis won't play until owner okays it. He's got a left calf sprain, and apparently right now there's going to be kind of a wait and see. I want to say he's missed 7 games in a row. If I listened to this right, since the trade for Anthony Davis, AD has played in 14 of a possible 44 games with the Dallas Mavericks. We'll see what happens in Dallas, but Anthony Davis, ownership is stepping in and basically saying, we're not going to allow him to play unless we know he's completely healthy. So they're going to wait on that. There already is going on. There's already conversations going on right now in regards to Anthony Davis and some trade rumors out there. There was an article this morning in CBS Sports. By the way, I don't really find any reason why you wouldn't shop Anthony Davis. Makes no sense to me that you wouldn't shop Anthony Davis. Here's some Anthony Davis trade rumors. CBS went out there ranking every NBA team as a possible landing spot for Maverick star big men. By the way, there's no point in doing that, nor can they trade with every team. But I think just the idea and the concept that you got that many teams, or you got that many articles being written right now saying, what can you get for Anthony Davis? I think you got to look in the Eastern Conference. I think if you're a team in the East there and you're saying to yourself, hey, what could happen if we got Anthony Davis? The East is completely wide open. I don't even want to get into specific teams. I'm just telling you the concept of trying to get Anthony Davis, that he's played 14 games, 14 of 44 games, maybe 45 now since Dallas played yesterday. I keep hearing Golden State's name being brought up. Just the fact that this is a conversation, how quick they've already fired their general manager and how quick now they're trying to figure things out here is pretty remarkable. But that's just kind of the situation that the Mavs are in. And, obviously to have that conversation. Okay, the only other NBA story that I want to get into that I saw yesterday as well. Let me pop that up here real quick. Jalen Brunson turned an ankle in a game that was meaningless. They were getting blown out by the Orlando Magic. He turned an ankle. We'll see what his status is. Kawhi Leonard, I mentioned to you guys, he's dealing with an ankle injury. So unfortunately for the NBA, there's a lot of really, really good players right now that are also dealing with injuries. Okay, I'm going to read a couple comments here, and then we're going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the show. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what people got here. Luka worse off ball than Braun. Luka defense worse than Braun. Luka jacking more threes than Braun. It's hypocritical. Nobody points it out. Hey, listen, I tried being very objective today on Luka Doncic. Some people like it. Some people don't. I'm not here to make the biggest fans. I'm just here to give my opinion, and whether you guys agree with it or disagree with it, I just got to give my honest, genuine opinion. All right, let's get some more in here. Chat, relax. Everything's going to be okay. All right, let's get one here. It hurts me, but I have to admit that Austin Reaves needs to be traded. I don't think he will be traded. I'll continue to emphasize that. I don't think he's going to be traded. I think what more likely happens is Lakers sign him to a long-term deal. And if a star player becomes available, then Austin Reaves would probably be part of a trade package. Let's get some more in here. Slee better not be drinking a pumpkin spice. Brother, listen. My coffee in the morning, it's basically just like putting gasoline in the car. It's fuel. Give me a black coffee and let's keep this thing moving. That's where I'm at in my life. Give me a black freaking coffee, put nothing in it, and let's get from point A to point B. Let's keep that engine moving. All right, that's all I got for everybody. I think that's all I got today. Slee, the music is a nice touch. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody being a part of the show. Thank you for being here today. It's all good. World's not going to end. Lakers got their asses kicked. The Oklahoma City Thunder is really, really good. We all know that now. I'm back on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Later tonight, Sammy Long's going to put together a preview video. Lakers and the Pelicans coming up tomorrow. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Please consider being a member, or please consider subscribing. Hope you guys have a great Thursday morning. And I'll see you guys 8 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.